that the tower push is looking a bit awkward, right? It was just going to be Xiaoba kind of pushing towers by himself with Edict, and then Trim Protector healing them up, Viper, Lion ready to counter initiate. But now we've got, possibly a second hero with Ame taking up the Arc Warden. That alleviates some of the tower pressure issues. He's going to be cutting waves all over the game around the map. So I like the pick quite a bit as well. I'm a fan of Arc Warden games personally.
Yeah, I like him too. Did you see that Sing Cute comment? I love that. That is adorable. Apparently, I don't know, every player I talk to the international scene absolutely loves Sing Cute. I don't know what kind of personality he has, but like the South American players all think he's the greatest. He must be the most charismatic dude. And especially because he doesn't speak English. So I want to know how they all know him and love him. But no, he's just a lovable guy. He's going to be playing Squirrel this game. Proper name, of course. Hoodwink is just a name for fools.
Absolutely. If you don't call it Squirrel, you're yourself being hoodwinked, to be honest.
Aha, I like that.
Don't let her confuse you.
So I think the T1 can still do this, by the way. I don't think they got outdrafted. It's a really good Arc Warden draft, but the hero is honestly kind of weak. The talents, especially the removal of the attack range talent in favor of, for some reason, Ice Frog gave him the 40 extra DPS on Flux. It's insulting to an Arc Warden player, but it is a game for it, so we'll see.
And once again, something I'm looking forward to watching in the mid lane, especially for T1, is seeing how we can look to pressure this mid lane. I know Twitch chat's going to be spamming 32-year-old mid laner, right? And to some point, they've got a point, right? That you are going to expect at least a small win in the mid lane here. And I think that's, once again, why T1 have decided to give Carl kind of this snowball lane domination kind of hero. So I'm curious to see how he's going to be able to bring impact to this game. Because the last game on the Batrider, he did eventually run into issues. Yeah,
that's why the Arc Warden is such a solid pick, because he actually does counter the Viper into the mid game. So quite important to be able to pick that. I also have another stellar pick for themselves, which is the Cuckoo Doom. Usually, Cuckoo is incredible against 4-1 lineups because of the incredible Doom that he plays. Honestly, still the style that we saw with the Midas, the greedy Doom, but just very good positioning by him. Always really accurate Dooms. We're not going to see Zephyr on the Trim Protector. Cinder's right. He's a very good Trim Protector, but I think Whitemon's fine on the hero. He's not very strong this game because they changed his Diabolic Edict. Now that deals pure damage. That Living Armor might not be as good at protecting the towers, but we'll see that in the mid game.
Oh, that's a good point. That's a really good point. We shall see. Lots of magic damage as well. Lots of burst magic damage even available, right? So if you think about Arc Warden's damage, usually it's on those procs of Maelstrom the Yolner, or even MKB, of course,
or Flux now.
Or Flux, of course, with that 20 talent. Ooh, watch out. Epicenter, the sniping combo here with Sharpshooter into a secondary stun. I mean, it's a lot of magic damage. So, yeah, it doesn't really feel like this Trim Protector, outside of, delay and pushes in the early game, is going to find a whole lot of use for this Living Armor. I don't think we're going to see, for example, a second, Holy Locket for the healing kind of trance. And, in the lane now, you play more for Leech Seed and Nature's Grasp anyway.
Yeah. You might go for like 2-1-2 build, or the 1-2-2 build, because Nature's Grasp got a bit nerfed. That kind of idea. Maybe, play as defensively. It's hard, right? Because when you have Dusa, yeah, you can sort of up the tempo on this hero. The Axe build's a bit dead, but you can still play a bit more aggressively, and you kind of have to do that eventually before you start dealing with the Arc Ward in the late game. The matchup is honestly really bad. The panel was right though about the Swift Blink timing. And that's very, very crucial this game. I don't think we're going to see too active a game because of that by T1 early.
To some degree, though, that's kind of what they want, right? I mean, a Doom core, you're going to want to go for that Midas usually, Midas BKB, sometimes even before you start fighting. That's going to give you a ton of gold that you're just going to be able to sit back on and very easily keep pace with enemy cores without really stealing too much gold from your own cores, right? You're extra efficient of a farmer on the Doom. So I think T1 will have a good time with this game as well. Whitemon as well, you can send him to split push waves, even though we don't really see trees play that for that style, as there's an attempt now into the life of 23 Savage. They do have, however, not enough damage really to get him down too early.
I like your point, actually. I do think that T1 is a really good lineup at playing without much map control, right? A great dead laner or split pusher like in a Trim Protector, a hero that quite literally generates gold in the Doom, and then a safe carry to play around, a mid that is good with farm but doesn't require it as much. I don't think Viper needs to be farming like crazy all over the map into the mid-late game, right? Early, yes. True. But later on, you're okay with becoming utility.
Yes, I'd like to remind you though of like last patch when we saw a ton of Viper all the time, right? In SA, right? They like to make it position 5, but usually here in Europe it was off lane or mid, and we saw a lot of like very scaling late game, tons of damage. Viper's Faith Beyond is going to be bullied out from the lane. I don't believe they'll quite have a kill onto him here though, as the Scorpion will prove to be too fast.
Yeah, you're right, by the way. He scales. He's really good at scaling, but he's also equally good at shoving waves. He can go for a little bit more dangerous farm early, and he's okay with taking a bit of a backseat role, like 30 minutes in when it comes to farming. That's what I'm assuming Carl might do if they are faced with the, oh no, Leshrac took all my towers, my whole map is dark position.
Exactly.
It's not the first choice, though.
Oh, with the bubble up, I think he's going to be fine. We have a Hex.
Synq.
So this is just a lot of damage on him.
Top lane, Synq. He's just dying to a Trim Protector. Whitemon, bottom as well. But neither of them are going to fall. And they just grasp. Does he guess it correctly? He does not. Squirrels are very good at guessing where trees are going to go. They live in them, after all.
They do live in them, and they're responsible for planting a whole ton, because squirrels, and this is going to be proven with the, well, 2.9 int gain is actually pretty good per level, especially for, well, an Agi hero, but they're really dumb, and they always forget where they bury their nuts, which is why they're really good at planting trees.
Oh, I did not know that. That's so stupid, though. 23 Savage in the top lane. He's going to be able to get away. Faith Beyond might be in trouble himself. They realize there is a sentry nearby, and Whitemon is punching him for a lot. Synq will actually put his body instead, hoping to not die for this. Mystic Snake might just be enough, and that's going to be first blood going the way of 23 Savage.
It's a good start for T1 then, especially because you're able to give it to the Deuce. So that extra little bump of gold, you know, not too significant, but it'll give you, you know, maybe a band of Elven Skin a bit earlier, help you farm in the jungle. Carl, I think, though, is kind of having the start he was looking forward to. He's going to be quickly farming these side camps as well, thanks to 2 points of Nether Toxin. He can very easily bully the Director should he get too close. It's down bottom, we're also Scare Machine.
Okay, there is the Sparkwave set up. That's gonna hit. Okay, Cuckoo tanked it. Well done here. The skirmish continues. Y will die, and the damage from the Arc Warden is not enough just yet. Cuckoo actually has a magic stick to bait him with, and he will get the kill because of this at the expense of his own life, thanks to that tower. What happened top?
I'm not sure.
It was the winds were just fine. They were fighting to the death there, and they actually managed to get the kill on the Dusa because of this. Now Xiao Ba comes in, gets the kill on Whitemon, gets the... Maybe not.
Oh,
yeah, there we go. Bushwhack.
Bushwhacking a tree to a tree. I feel like that shouldn't work, but who knows?
I wonder if there's a part of Whitemon who likes being bushwhacked, you know? Okay, there's the kill. Oh, what a great production. They catch Savage pretty well. He didn't actually have time to activate the Mana Shield, so I'm assuming that's why he went down so quickly.
That'll do it.
Also, level 1 Mana Shield kind of crap now.
We spoke about the Midas, of course, for Cuckoo earlier, but we'll also not be too surprised to see a Midas for Ame, as they do have making another attempt onto his life. This one looking good. That is up until Y TP's on end for the Cold Embrace. And, well, Doom, actually, a lot of his damage early does come from his right clicks. He was as few as he does get through. Cold Embrace, I'm not going to let you do that. So there's a friendly TP from the Wyvern to stop the kill. And it's Trax, Faith Beyond top, continuing to pull cut waves into the small camp and farm them. Taking a lot of damage, though, as he is dusted up by Whitemon, but not another Nature's Grasp at the ready for another 5 seconds, so they can't quite catch the Scorpion. He's going to live another day.
I want to commend Ame, by the way, for his build. He's taking a stand against the Ice Frog changes and only taking 1 point in Flux to show him that talent is bad, and instead of the point in Magnetic Field. I like this. Flux is really just useful early for the slow, and we're going to find this out now as Zephyr. He's the first victim. Cuckoo, the Spark Wraith, is going to hit him. That's going to slow him down. Is it enough to get the Flux off? Second Spark Wraith set up as well. Well, Cuckoo's just a bit too fast. Manages to outrun the Spark Wraith. There's no Bushwhack just yet. Synq getting as close as possible for the projectile to hit as soon as possible, but even with all his efforts, he got away.
He's as fast as the devil, isn't he? He's quite fast with those boots and the Scorched Earth active. Doom really moving around, as you know, he does have the phase boots online. Same timing as the Midas.
Nope.
Oh, okay. Decided against the DD rune. He's like, I should let my mid laner take this. Oh, wait, that's me. Right. My bad, guys.
No, it was because Carl was coming. He was thinking to himself, I don't want a DD rune that badly. There we go. Yeah, he's like, oh, I don't want a DD rune that badly. He was afraid of Carl, and then, oh, Carl just denies it. Maybe I should, actually. Yeah, DD rune, it's gone. That's fine, just a little bit. The bottle refill denied, basically, is essentially what it is. Yeah, exactly, because Lesh does not care about the DD.
Best not to give it to Carl, though.
Slower than patch average on
Epicenter top lane. Whitemon is going to live, though. Oh, is he? Yes, he is, just barely, thanks to the 1 point in the living armor that he has. Stick charges as well being put to use, and he'll be able to regen in the trees a bit, but lots of pressure with the first epicenter, not able to find a kill.
Now, in the bottom lane, you leave as a recording, because these days... Oh, yeah, top lane? No.
Yeah, the squirrel got him. Squirrel is there for vengeance.
Good tree for vision, then the bushwhack on top of that. But in the bottom lane, they leave Y alone because Arc Warden... Actually, these days, we see a lot of Arc Warden skipping those boots early because there's just no use to you, and you need Maelstrom immediately. Most people think that it's a Midas that helps you farm. It helps you farm a bit, but the Maelstromers, you can actually hit creeps fast. As you can see here, this is pathetic. So you're going to skip that, leave the lane, let your support do his thing, and then hopefully, eventually, you will get that really, really important Maelstrom.
Yep. That's what Purge should have done. The side shopkeeper. He should have just activated Tempest Double and get 2 trusty shovels out. Top lane, Whitemon. Yep, he can be buried with one of those trusty shovels as he'll be taken down. Looks like Sin Q, though, will fall in return, and there is going to be, what's that, a pig pull? No, just a regular Hex onto Zephyr. Pardon me, that was a pig pull from Faith Beyond. Now he's going to be doomed for it, however, and killed off. Kill going to Cuckoo, and they'll get his courier on the way out as well. Consider that Abo the top tier 1 defended.
Yeah, well done. That pick pull, great for running, but also silences you, so you don't do much while you're in that position. And the Doom fulfilled it. We're going to see that kill on the top lane, by the way. Oh, actually, I thought they used the tree for vision, but instead they just got Whitemon as he was retreating. Well done. Yep, those extra kills afterwards were quite valuable. The rotations by T1 important because they know the Arc Warden can join. And while Deuce is not the strongest here, she can somewhat be in fights. Doom is definitely a bit stronger early as well, as long as his Doom is off cooldown. T1 trying to defend towers. They know the enemy team is just Lesh +4 when it comes to tower pushing.
Yeah, in the early game especially, right? Later,
yes.
Yeah, Shirame is a problem. But for now, it's Lesh +4. And for now, Faith Beyond as well, continuing to poke and prod up in the top lane. It's actually going to trigger the first overgrowth of the game out from Whitemon. Finger of Death, he committed as well. Says, you Epicenter supports. We remember that, and we don't easily forget. Turning now is going to be Xiao Ba down bottom. Carlo with a Haste Rune is actually going to get the kill here. By Winter's Curse now used into a seemingly sharpshooter, getting that one fully charged. It's going to whiff. It's going to whiff, and Cuckoo's here now to try and turn. Is why trying to at least escape. He can fly over the trees. We'll break them in his wake, and it's going to be 2 kills for Carl off the back of the Haste Rune.
They saw a top kill, like, we're good at getting kills too, right? Why? Let's go. And then, nope. Some supports are just built better than others, right? And in the case of T1, they have a stronger ganking duel, much more damage. Winter Wyvern's great for team fights and for save, but her damage is negligible, honestly. So that was a really tough kill to get. Good attempt, though. Good effort. T1 now with much better control and great farm and do so. It was the bounty gold gain as well. 1 more bounty goal in the way of LGD, so they're very happy with that. But in terms of the kill gold, devour gold, that's going a bit better for T1.
That Dragon Line's already completed. It's going to be Stats Dusa here, S and Y into the Eye of Scotty. We've got another Ultimate Orb queued up there, so I wonder where that's eventually going to be for.
Oh. It's not a rune day today. Today, runes are to be denied, not to be taken. Okay, they're waiting for Carl. Oh, no.
No, he's given the Dusa a couple of sips. There it is. The ultra efficiency, of course.
Yeah, honestly. As we see Ame still trying to take these actions. Commended Ame. He's working hard for them. Xiaoba on the top lane. Up into the tower. Debal Edict. Oh, but he got hit. He's kind of slowed now. Whitemon tanking that Edict and the pulse. No, Whitemon just wants to get the overgrowth off. They can't use the Doom just in time. Cuckoo might just die. In exchange, though, for the enemy mid laner. As the pick pull might not be helping him as he's a poison pick here. And the Cold Embrace will not save him. Neither will the Winter's Curse. So 2 kills go in the way of T1. And they get a really good engagement off this. Those travel boots for Carl, once again, paying off. Carl, such a menace in the early game.
Yeah, the supports of LGD in that fight did a great job of keeping Lion out of the engagement.
There's the Maelstrom.
Okay, and there it is. Online now, he's actually going to be farmed a bit faster here, especially with the bubble additional attacks. But I'm surprised they committed so much for the Lion. He didn't have Finger of Death. And yes, Hex and Earthspike, especially when maxed, are incredibly annoying and powerful spells, but felt like the bigger threat at that stage was more of the Viper Carl, more of Cuckoo Doom. So trying to pick off that kill into the Lion, he lives just barely. That ends up eating a lot of time from both of our support duos from LGD. Doesn't leave Xiaoba with a whole lot of support. Now, though, he will smoke up with the boys as they will sweep across the map here into their own jungle. Only one showing down bottom is 23 Savage, but he's not pushing a tier 1 tower all by himself. In fact, he'll probably head into his own jungle after picking up a mango. It is, though, where LGD are expecting him to go. Oh, but 23, he's going to TP top. Nice.
Yep. They're not going to catch anyone. And this game is actually very similar to the last one in terms of the aggression, right? LGD has more tower push than T1, so they can propose more of these fights. But this time, T1 has a much better defense of the towers. Not only with living armor, which is still okay at defending towers, still gives you the healing, but also with the Viper's travel boots, a bit more impactful than a Bat Rider, I would say, as the Viper can just commit to get kills without putting himself in danger.
Yeah, exactly. Like the healing is, the armor this game may be negligible, but the healing effect is very real, right? Because as long as you stop the Lesh from taking your tower with the Edict, he's going to have to come back a second time. And there's not much else that LGD wants in this top half of the map except for that tier 1 tower. So then you're wasting a lot of time for the Director, right? He's very busy, you know, he's usually gets PAs to do these things for him, but, you know, the Union, they're on strike. It's a whole thing, right? So now he's got to go back and get this tower taken down.
That Blink Dagger was a blind one. Cuckoo finally gets caught, but Epicenter only hits him with a single pulse. Xiaobai nearby. Cuckoo getting tired of Sanking blocking him, so he just hits him with the Thunderclap. That's a new way to stop the body blocks. Good use of the movement speed reduction. And now they actually want to fight this. Carl joins in. Xiaobai once again in bad position. Overgrowth will catch him a second time. He'll die to the poison. The Winter's Curse, though. I'm going to do much as there's no follow-up to this Winter's Curse. They just try to get them to retreat. But Y will die for this. T1 committing hard for this kill. Or for everything, really. They put all the resources but Dusa at defending this top lane. They want to make sure this Leshrac does not have the impact he had last game.
Yeah, exactly. Faith Beyond lucky he's got the pig pull because that's what gets him out of there. You know, turns into a pig and he scrams away from the fight. Otherwise, I would have had his bacon. No, but this is exactly what I mean. You know, they go top lane. They fail to get a kill. They still look to pick up the tower on the way back out, but there's a bit of mispositioning there, unfortunately. And a great overgrowth here as well. Good stun from Faith Beyond, but unfortunately, it's just much too late as the Winter's Curse cannot come through in time to stop the overgrowth.
It's just like the Burrow Strike there did nothing, right? Once you miss the epicenter, it just maybe it's retreat time because you know Cuckoo's already there. The Trial Boots means Viper can always join you. The Hooded Defiance honestly makes Carl unkillable right now. Either unless you find him alone and you get the full Diabolic Edict on him, then maybe. But Leshrac doesn't do anything against this guy. Full passive, full Hooded Defiance. Now the Sanj first before the Kaya. Going for a Kaya and Sanj build like he's a Void Spirit because why not?
Yep. And actually, the reason, while we continue to look at the Director's build, the reason why I brought up, now he's got to go back and make another push, is because this is actually kind of a big deal, right? He's gone for mana boots early, not the BOTs we saw last game. So this is, you know, quite an investment. He's got to use a TP scroll or run all the way to a top lane from bottom, you know. It's a lot of time for him. So T1 making a lot of space, because what are they doing with all this space, right? Well, Deuce's farming, Cuckoo's continuing to just perfectly use the Midas whenever he can. Right now, though, we see a smoke play. So that smoke will expire. No, actually got broken from behind by Sin Q.
So this time, because they have a Doom, I think they can take more advantage of having like the lack of push, right? They still don't have much push. They've only taken a tower, but it's fair. It's enough because they have a Doom in there that can multiply in their farm. And the Doom's always a safe farm to take. And of course, the team fights are giving Carl all he needs. Whitemon running away from them as Dusa finally pushes the bottom tower, slowly but steadily. Xiaobai will do the same thing with the top tower. And actually, in the bottom, they want to defend this.
23.
LGD, they're baiting him.
There's a curse.
They know he's going to stay for this. There's the curse to set up. They hit him with a Veil. Splinter Blast. Here comes Carl trying to defend. They apparently want to fight this. Sinistrike is available, but they hit by the Burrow Strike Epicenter. Sharpshooter blocked there by Carl, so allows the Sinistrike to come off. The Clone is going to die first. No help from AIM in this fight. And the Pig Bull, now it's actually Faith Beyond on the run, trying to go through the trees, but there is an actual tree here that's going to find him easily. Broken and subsequently destroyed.
Finger death for Y. Oh, they just barely get him now. He's going to go down. They think they got the finger stack for that one as well, and they have Doom to the Squirrel, who is going to try and at least get the Roshan Courier before he goes, but no chance there. Caught up by the Nature's Grasp. Betrayed by the very beings that she lives in there as the Train Protector. Will be able to get the kill there. All right, bad fight for LGD. I'm surprised. I thought for sure they had 23 dead to rights there, but this is a very high level Dusa. Level 4 mana shield proves to be quite tanky. I also thought for sure Carl's just about to, you know, TP in here and die, but no, he as well is just a little bit too hard to take down. And in fact, you know what's not hard to take down is these Zet doubles. That's the second now they've taken down in very quick succession. A good amount of gold, 240 gold as well at level 2 every single time you kill one. As we can see here, yeah, 40 gold, 500 gold already fight away here to T1 on top of all the farm they're already taking around the map. And that's going to contribute, Avo, here to this 5k net worth lead, which allows 23 Savage to immediately go into the Eye of Scotty.
Yep. And he is going for the fast build, somewhat, right? Let's do so fast, which is the Aghanims, right? To be able to actually fight a bit earlier. They're seeing they're winning fights. Why not? I think, of course, waiting for the Swift Blink was an option, but seeing as the early game is going so well for them, why not continue to put this pressure as Carl goes bottom? That is actually the best way to stop the Arc Warden. Don't let the clone farm. Yeah, it's just a clone, sure, but it's extra gold for your team, and you're stopping the Arc Warden from getting the most dangerous farm in the map. And if you force him to take the safe farm, that means the Sanking and Lesh have no place to go. So, pretty good. There we go. The stat increased now. 2 of these clones went for the Viper. 480 gold, not a joke. And he's also going for the Ags. Interesting choice.
I like this. I don't know. I like this from T1 quite a bit, though. I think they're playing very well. Like, Viper is kind of, as you say, right, the kind of hero who doesn't mind immediately showing up. You know, oh, the illusion's going bottom. I'll also BOTs in and make its life very difficult, right? The cooldown on a Viper Strike, even without Ags, is short enough. It's going to line up nicely with the Tempest Double for you to just do this all the time. Xiaoba now, as they will call in reinforcements to try and defend this tower. Just the double, though. Full Mjolnir finished on him.
Yeah, now he farms quite quickly, and he wants to match the Dusa. And there goes Ahmed's clone. I might be a clone, but I also deal damage. Oh, he's going to expire right in time. Oh, no! I thought he calculated that perfectly. But the gold went to 23 Savage. That feels bad as an Arc Warden player.
There it is, 960.
I wonder if Ahmed will look at the replay and just watch this happening. Just feel a bit worse every time that number increases. As they find the poor Winter Wyvern, hexed, and killed. And the tower will die.
That's big, because there's no counter push going on in the meantime. Xiaoba was looking for the tower mid lane, but again, Treant Protector is going to force him off with the heals. Basically, JJ, he's got that one bound now, just to show us every single time. Because, well, at the way T1's playing this, we'll see those a couple of more times. Is there like an item? Is there a timing when this Arc Warden becomes a bit too scary for you to just simply run at him and kill him? Or is the double kind of doomed to this fate for the next 30 minutes?
I mean, it depends on the build, right? It depends on how aggressive the Arc Warden wants to play. It seems like we're seeing a Shadowblade build, which I actually love for getting kills in the support. So that might just be enough, so that every time they go on you, especially if there's a support nearby, you just Shadowblade and go for the support instead. It depends, right? Because some Arc Wardens will deviate for the BKB sometimes relatively early. Some will go for the just damage build, like Butterfly, which is also fine this game. And some will go for like the Bloodthorn Silver Edge build, which helps you get kills. Ooh, Zephyr. Great reflexes. That is also going to miss. It was a very hopeful bushwhack. Zephyr wants more. Blink Dagger in 6 seconds. They have vision over this area, so they know they're stronger.
Fast hands on Zephyr.
Yeah. I mean,
and a good ward as well, which is going to let him get a better jump there, right? He had the intel, ward was already down.
That was the ward, yeah. That was the ward.
So nice job. Still making out. We'll take another look at that one, though, because it still was out from a smoke. So still a pretty damn fast reaction indeed. Ooh, yeah, just barely beat him there.
It's actually because he blinked in. Must have been because he was in the trees. I don't think the ward caught him. It was too far away from range. So it's just him blinking in. That was impressive before the first epicenter pulse hit.
Beyond. Now he's got a Yule Scepter to stop people from blinking away should he want to. Unless, of course, they're affected by this pipe barrier, because we do have one completed by Cuckoo, which is going to block a bit of that magic damage. And of course, it's for Mjolnir procs. It's for Chain Lightning's mid.
Why? Yeah, they missed the Earth Spike. There's a Winter's Curse. Do they want to counter-initiate this? Ame sends the clone in. So local middle for now. Bushwhack. They'll kill Zephyr. And they're going for Cuckoo as well. But 23 Savage Stone Gaze deters the aggression from LGD.
Defensive Stone Gaze there.
This is what's so great about Arc Warden, which is like usually you Stone Gaze. All of a sudden it's like, oh, I overcommitted. Shouldn't have gone to that fight. But you send clone in. Who cares?
Clone is going as well. He's going to be hitting pretty hard now with a Crystallis completed.
Yep.
Straight into Silver Edge, as you said, but looking for the damage first to help him farm, because usually you don't need to sneak up on the jungle creeps too easily. And for the most of the game here, the Arc Warden is going to be playing around mostly creep. So he's looking for damage first to help increase his farm, and Shadowblade secondarily to then look for potentially some kills onto the supports.
Yep. Usually Shadowblade alone is not enough to kill support as long as they have some sort of stun or escape. Usually you need, like, again, this build used to be picked up a lot back in the day with Arc Wardens with like silences, Bloodthorn particularly, or Orchid necessarily. Hex sometimes as well, depends on what the game calls. Arc Wardens are very diverse in their builds. Savage fighting against the clone head on, and it's like, hey, fight me now. I have the bubble, and you're always safe inside of it.
You are.
Until the
Especially
MKB
'cause-
comes out on Dusa.
That's a good point. Yeah, Dusa. Well, it does have one in the quick buy. We can see it's probably queued up after the Swift Blink, is what I'd imagine those two items are going to build into. But we're still a while away, right? Because even though this is fast Dusa Avo, she's only fast really with Stone Gaze active. And other than that, she just moves from camp to camp and slithers around and farms them until she has all 6 items.
It's fast relative to a Dusa, you know? It's like when you see a car going at 40 kilometers an hour, it's not very fast. But you see a cyclist going at 40 kilometers an hour and you go, wow, that's impressive. So Dusa is the cyclist in this case.
I see.
Yeah.
Luckily for Dusa, I think she can just stone gaze her way through intersections. Most bikers just freely pass through anyway, but she's pretty safe with that one, ready to go.
Yes, cars don't think bikers are people, that's for sure. It's Arc Warden got Viper Strike. Actually, one of the advantages of the Ags, of course, the increased cast range allows you to actually catch up to the Arc Warden. This is not a game where Ami wants to build a Hurricane bike, so it is a game where it's hard for you to keep the Viper at bay or the Dusa at bay necessarily if they get the items to catch up to you. Hence why T-Governor mentioned the Swift Blink.
Cuckoo, use the mics. There we go. All right, he was looking around for a while. 23 Savage kept farming everything before he could waltz on over, though. As Carl will bait in the... Yep, well, Carl's baiting in the middle lane, but LGD not falling for this one. Of course, Ame is never going to go too far with his real Arc Warden to look for items. Oh, this is a sneaky play. He actually used the Zet just before he had Shadow Blade delivered. He don't know if he's going to use this aggressively. As there's Shelbana showing off that fresh Aghanim Shard. He's very keen to pick this one up, isn't he?
Why? It's going to die in the top lane. Finger of Death even committed for a while. Okay.
Why not? Well, fights are so far and few in between, right?
Sure, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, you probably don't want to play this aggressively until Axe.
Doom down bottom, though. That's going to be for Faith Beyond as Cuckoo, simply with a blink from Fog, will find him. Oh, the deny from Ame, though, comes through in time as now Cuckoo, he's fluxed up. Oh, lucky that we don't have this 20 talent, though, for the Arc Warden. As Xiao Ba next is going to close on in. Stun will connect, and that'll certainly be then a kill here onto the Doom.
Can you imagine if you had 40 extra damage in second? My goodness, that's almost the 60% increase. It's incredible. Sorry, it's 66 actually. This is being better than I'm giving it credit for. Anyway, you can see that one of the issues Arc Warden tends to have is actually damage problems, which is why sometimes Dusas can beat him once they get the Swift Blink, and that's the next item for her. Okay, Clone going for Viper. Viper just goes inside the bubble, and Carl will happily farm this Clone. I don't know if that was from above. You guys seem to die level, but it's fine. And he got the...
Yeah, down bottom, though, the Director is stuck around a little bit too long here. And it looks like he will be very easily punished for this one. He's going to try and at least pick up the kill onto Zephyr. The Eul Scepter, though, will stop that from happening. It's actually a self-Eul. It's just trying to live a bit longer. He casts another stun, at least, and that might be enough to nuke the waves.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We'll see. No, not enough. They're too fast. Wow, they missed all of them. Xiaoba is reaching that point in any Leshak versus Tim Protector matchup where you go, just fall! I want the towers to just die, please, please! He's just throwing his corpse at it and praying that it will go down. Like, the mid is still up. For a Lesh, this is an insult. As we see some creep cutting here. But turning into stone. Yep, that's going to make it much easier to lure him out of his bubble. At least you don't get the kill, but he doesn't get the full creep cut.
Yeah, PSG.LGD, they're smoked now behind the real Ame. We'll see if this triggers any TPs out from T1, as they may look to punish that one. Anytime the real Arc Warden is shown, that's always quite a nice prize for you to find. Zephyr's going to be the first one to TP, as Sin Q is going to be a bit too late on the rotations on over. Does not catch him with the ward either, I believe. No, they must have caught him as Faith Beyond, otherwise making the blind blink in. And the sharpshooter ultimately unnecessary, as they will get the kill there onto the support line, and likely the tower off the back of the pickoff.
It's important to stave off your expectations, because when you see the real Arc Warden, you immediately, of course, like you said, want to go against him. But it's also true that if you know that he has Clone, he's not such an easy target any longer, especially with the escape Silver Edge provides, right? So you definitely need to keep those clones in check. That's why a really good Arc Warden won't split push eternally and always send his clone to another lane, because that means you're weak in the fight. You're not strong as one hero, you're strong as two. And that's what T1 just needs to keep in check. When they go for the clone and they kill it, especially if they're timing it properly as TP, then you know you can go for the Arc Warden. That's why you'll also see some Arc Wardens sometimes actually wait a bit before you TP on the clone, as opposed to be fully efficient, because that way you trick the enemy into how much the duration is. And you bait them into a bad fight.
So LGD, I believe they've got 2 pretty good neutral items now for the Arc Warden. He's holding on to Blastering, but I do believe they've also dropped the Enchanted Quiver. And of course, that fully works on the double. So I wonder if there's ever a situation, but does not.
It's been bugged forever.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, that's why he doesn't pick it up. Yep, it's been bugged forever. I actually don't know what items are properly bugged. He went for the flux damage! Hype! Alright, they found why. There you go. He's been stunned. There's the... Scotty's going to stop you from healing too much in that. I don't think he's healing anything, actually. White's is going to die there. But the split pushing continues. I'm unsure what items are bugged for Arc Warden. A lot of the actives are bugged for him, so it's kind of a 50-50. I haven't tested with the new items.
We'll see right now, though. Looks like they're going to be able to pick off the split-pushing Arc Warden. Almost got through that full 2-3 tower, though. But there's going to be 300 gold now for Carl. Level 3 Zet double is Xiao Ba in the middle lane, trying to hold down the Deuce. So there's a jump in Faith Beyond, but they've actually pulled him back, so it's going to miss. Thanks to the Bushwhack, now stunned up. And Yules currently is the Sanking Sharpshooter incoming for 23 Savage, but he's already standing still in the fight anyway. Doesn't mind much that additional slow or the nuke damage, which just tickles him. Finger of Death from behind for Zephyr as they finish him off in style there with the Mystic Snake. Kuku as well, finally toggling the aggro from the tower on over to the Dusa. And that is going to be 2 heroes dead in exchange for only the Train Protector.
How much does Savage used to hit the tower with backdoor protection for him to just give up on it? He's like, fine, I'll wait for the creeps. There we go. 2 hits all it needed, but he couldn't get those 2 hits in. Dusa not particularly known for her burst physical damage. And I think she just got her Blink Daggers coming on the Courier. Yeah. And that's going to now allow you to fight the Arc Warden head on. I think now you're actually in trouble, Azame. Not like you were ever in control really of this game, but now you're truly in trouble. Azame, May wants to fight Carl, gets the breakover, but that's just going to be the clone.
Yeah.
Clone
needed to Midas. You needed to Midas, so that's why he decides to turn back. Definitely not worth sacrificing your own farm, even if you do give a bit of bonus gold to your enemies. That's 23 Savage. Now with this Blink Dagger online, we'll go for the Swift Blink, and then he's going to have that MKB at that stage. The bubble, well, he'll be able to pierce right through that one. So Ame's going to have to try and get something online. He is going to now go for the Enchanted Quiver.
See, it doesn't work on the clone. This is so frustrating. You see, they catch the clone, though. Another Toxin. He is going to die. That's a poisoned fish for you, which, interestingly enough, in French are very similar words. Poisson and poison. Do not confuse them, though. So poison fish is poison to poisson. Poisson. Look at that. That's a fun fact of the day.
That is a fun fact. Always a little bit of French lessons with Alvaro. I love it. We're going for I was about to say we're going for a Gleipnir here for Sinkyu. So this is going to do nicely with the Veil of Discord, some extra catch as well for the entirety. It's also really good at scouting into trees for the Train Protector because you can just fire that into an AoE.
I think the biggest upgrade, honestly, of the Gleipnir is the fact that you can fire it into fog. I don't think the area is nice, right? But because there's so many dispels, stuff like that. But the ability to fire Atos into fog is great. Forcing a BKB in fog is insane because they can't go and counter-initiate you all of a sudden. You don't want to BKB off a Gleipnir. Now we have cold-blooded though on Dusa, so goodbye Flux. If you were ever useful, your days are counted.
We just used Flux on the Dusa there. Probably the worst target to show it off on, especially with all the damage mitigation. Why? Didn't look good. As there's a jump in. They've caught the Director. They've doomed him up now as well. And all that'll be a wrap for him as he is going to be swept up by that last auto attack from Kuku. 2 heroes dead on LGD just like that as T1 make a very successful smoke yank into the enemy triangle.
All right, so now they can just take the Roche, right? As Ame, he knows he can't use the clone here. He just needs to use himself. They're going to be split pushing a bit aggressively. They probably assume T1 is in the Roche, and since you can't contest it, you got to do the best. Next best thing is just to push as much as possible. But you can't show yourself in case the enemy team will try to TP and gank you. You have to let the Roche go. A very bad time right now for LGD. They don't really have any plays to make, as Noto likes to say. Hey,
check out this
Savage. What?
I got this cast range, by the way, for Carl's Viper Strike, especially with Octarine Core.
That's insane, right?
Yeah, that's pretty generous on a relatively low cooldown. Bottom first, or sorry, make that top. We're going for a bit of a fight. On to Kuku we will go. Broken twice now. Still gets off a little stomp, though, however, and that's going to be enough time to buy him for the Zet's double to die off. And in fact, Faith Beyond now left completely alone will be next. He is taken down.
Right. Ame feels bad. It's like, well, I only used my clone, but my teammates had to use their lives. But what can you do? Carl fighting in. This could be a time to Burst, Carl, Zephyr. They went towards the clone. They got an Earth Spike onto both. Carl sees the opportunity, wants to seize it. He's been broken though. He can't fight the Arc Warden head on any longer. Great bubble placement there by Ame. He's going to die. That's going to be the Aegis. He TPs immediately. Zephyr might just die to the clone alone. You shouldn't have come to help out your teammate. Zephyr dead. It's up to Xiao8 to actually take down the Viper, but can he do so? Inside another Toxin, Carl surviving a bit too much. The splitters do stop the Doom, but Xiao8 will not be able to finish off Carl, and the Viper Strike just as a goodbye present as Xiao8 decides to retreat.
Yeah, quite a parting shot. Quite a parting shot there. I don't remember the Parthians, whom that's named after, quite spitting on them from basically the horizon. That's quite a cast range upgrade. Cuckoo, by the way, with the Arcane Blink, which did get pretty significant buffs, is going to be a really nice item for him. He's basically going to have Doom whenever he needs it now, as these fights still very much few and far between. But now we're starting to see a bit more strength here out from the Arc Warden, as Sin Q gets off at least the Sharpshooter. That'll allow him scurry into the trees, and he will be able to live another day.
Nope. All right. Not a big deal here, losing the Hoodwink anyway. Again, she's just kind of pushing the dead lane, but LGD is kind of without plays right now, though. Savage is just a bit too strong. Maybe these ganks by the Orc Warden and these surprises, these baits might be their best play. Kind of an unorthodox playstyle. Like, for example, once again, nice bubble. But yeah, the Orchid's not going to do much. If you constantly get these snakes off, you can't target 23 Savage at this point, and the clone just has to give up.
Another cheeky break before he goes.
You don't see a CL bot rotation this time because he knows we're not going to get killed. There is an attempt with the epicenter. Siaba actually going in.
He's so tanky.
Right. They did catch him with the overgrowth though. The Rector in trouble. You'll sit there to dispel it. They catch the Hoodwink from behind, and the Viper Strike is going to kill him. Siaba in trouble, fighting the Dusa head on. So many split Earths, but they're not doing any damage to Savage.
There's a clone.
He's just going to go down here. And the clone finally joins the fray, but they can control him nicely with a Hex. The Viper Strike as well. Turned to stone, and now turned into a corpse.
Yeah, whatever happens to the Arc Warden double when he dies, but ooh, that was kind of a rough fight for PSG.LGD. I mean, we just got out of a Dusa patch. They don't really have like a bespoke Dusa burster, you know, no mana tray, no diffusal blade. So that felt like a little bit of a hopeful attempt to try and get a kill there. I know there's no tier 2 tower, and TPs to the outpost take forever, but Carl's got BOT, so he's in there in an instant. We didn't, Ame kind of just lost his Arc Warden double, so it was still on cooldown by the time you were going for that pickoff. And speaking of pickoffs, Whiteman with the blink dagger.
That is not a place you expect the Arc Warden to be at, to be honest.
Good ward. Good ward to scout him out. They had a Tinker ward up, so they probably knew he was on a secret mission to try and plant a Deep Warden. They knew one of those trees looked a little sus, and they were able to get him out from the base. So at least they get a pick off there.
And now Cuckoo in the middle lane. Also trying to show off his invis. It's like, it's not just Ame who can go invisible this game. I can also find rooms. He has an Arcane Blink, so Doom will be almost immediate, but he has no backup.
Oh, he's going to break the smoke immediately, too.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Frustrating.
And they drop a sentry. Cuckoo has been found. Has active BKB in time, but Savage is here to help him out. Here's the backup we're asking for. And they caught Ame as well. Turned into a fish. The Winter's Curse. Not going to help Ame enough, as he's just set in the wrong position. He's going to go down. Doom immediately going for Faith Beyond, who might just take down to the Doom. They're going to have to deny him, but Savage is not going to let that happen. He walks in, well, blinks in, and destroys Faith Beyond together with Xiao Bao and Sing Q. That face actually impassable. T1 just know they're winning right now. They even have the Shard on Viper for extra pushing. And there's Ame again, the real one. Hit him with the stun. The counter initiation by Faith Beyond. And there's the bushwhack though. Can they turn this into something else? No, the Rampage makes it impossible. Savage is actually just tearing through the team. Ame's already down, and Savage hasn't even taken any damage. Nobody can kill this Dusa. It's just tons galore. And PSG.LGD dying left, right, and center. More kills for this rampaging Dusa. A GG called, and T1 evening the score for this best of